Hi.
We are.
Yeah, me too. Kind of proverbially. That's kind of where I'm coming from right now. I love my life, and I love life in general. And I have so many ideas, so many things I want to learn, so many places I put my focus that it sort of feels like I'm dabbling all the time and I never quite get to the outcome that I want. Like I take Spanish lessons, I am an artist, I'm a writer.
But you're already at the outcome. I'm happy. I love my life. That's the outcome. That was the whole point of all of it.
So here's what I came up with at the beginning of the year, and I'm working on this right now. Like, what if, because I've been taking Spanish lessons for 3 years. I've been doing art for longer than that. I'm writing, but I'm not quite at the place where I'd like it to be. And so I'm thinking, well, maybe you should focus more, make a deliberate choice and focus and take like 30 days, like take 30 days per subject. Like maybe I really take 30 days and go take art workshops and do that. But then am I limiting myself? Because now I'm thinking like, gosh, if I take...
You're really hard to please. So if I give this more emphasis, then momentum will increase on this, yes? And we say yes.
Yeah.
And when momentum increases, it will call you in more ways. And you say, but what about the other things that I'm also interested in?
Right.
And we say, if you will accept that in doing the work that you're doing, which is creating the environment, that everything that flows, that the inspiration will flow, if you could trust the concierge in the sky, if you could just trust that creating that vibrational environment is all that is required of you, and that everything else will flow, and then you will stop introducing the resistance of, but am I doing enough, or am I missing something better when I'm doing this, and just embrace the deliciousness of this. The momentum will grow on all fronts, and the thing that will feel magical, it isn't, it's just law. But the thing that will feel magical is the way in which all of those things that are important to you begin to dance together. You see, when you try to orchestrate it, and we get why you want to, because you're a deliberate creator. And it's fun. We have said to Esther and others, to all of you for a long time, make more decisions. And that's what you're talking about. But we want you to get into this conscious awareness of how good you feel, which makes you the perfect person to have this conversation with, because you're there. And then we want to say to you, now watch the results of what you have created in this environment. So if it's mostly good, feels pretty good, then change nothing. But that's not quite right, because you said, I'm feeling a little, you didn't use the words, I'm feeling a little impatience, or I'm feeling a little desire for it to move faster, or I'm feeling a little desire to get more feeling out of it. And so in that awareness, you, without meaning to, introduced some resistance into your vibrational climate. So you just made it less likely for it to be more like you want it to be than more likely for it to be like you want it to be. Isn't that interesting? Wow. Hey, Abraham, that's not fair. You told me to be deliberate in my creating. Now you're saying that if I notice that something isn't the way I want it, and so I say I want more of that, just in the acknowledging that I want more of something that isn't, I mess up my vibrational environment. Yeah, exactly. That's what you do.
Wow.
So the words that we've been offering to you lately are, your work is very simple. Create the environment, create the environment, create the environment, and see what comes to it. Create the environment and see what comes to it. And every single thing that comes to it, you created the environment that called it, you say. So you just keep reaching for that feeling again. What do you think? And you heard her and you felt her. So what do you think is the piece that feels a little missing? And we're delicate when we say that, because you said, I'm happy, and you are. But what, if something is missing, is it just a little more momentum? Or are you still trying to fill an old void that says you're supposed to make your mark in some significant way? Is it about the way others revere you?
Whoa. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, part of it is that. It's not, like I don't need to be, bright lights and fame. That's not it.
But hear this, because
Yeah.
this is the piece that you're reaching for. And Esther's just coming to it on her own. Is that if creating my vibrational environment really is my work, and then I want to respond to the world from this centered place of alignment, then when something happens, my response to it comes from there. So my response to it feels really, really good. But if I feel anything less than really, really good, that means I'm responding, I'm reacting from something other than my aligned place. And that reaction from something other than my aligned place then affects that vibrational nucleus, that vibrational environment. And the beautiful thing is that then law of attraction shows you in a variety of different ways what you just introduced, or what you just introduced more momentum to, you see.
Right.
It just gets easier and easier. Esther went through a phase recently where she said, well, I guess I just am a vibrational snob because I'm not too interested. I don't want to chat about problems anymore. I just want to do what makes me feel good. And the thousands of books that are being written on proper parenting and proper relationships and proper driving the Audi R8. In other words, all of those things, all of those books that are written about the way they all feel like just lip service and rhetoric, because I'm discovering, Esther is saying, I'm discovering the true power of alignment. So then all kinds of things unfold, which she formerly might think, well, there must have been a flaw in my vibration in order for that outcome to come, when that's never true, because things are always working out for you. So everything that is coming for the clarity that you're reaching for. So the very thing that you were asking about maybe I should spend more time on this subject just to goose it up and get it to go faster. The elimination of resistance will goose all those things up and get them to go faster too. Because that's the only thing that slows momentum is resistance, you say.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword, because as you're saying this, it's interesting to me, because the question was, what is the outcome that I want? And the outcome that I want is
to feel good.
To feel good and to see the art, or see turn the writing into a book, or turn the Spanish into...
So what you're saying is, you get it that you want to create this vibrational environment that lets it flow. So you want to create the environment, and then you want to notice what comes. You want to create the environment, and you want to notice what comes. You want to create the environment, and then you want to notice what comes. Isn't that nice to know? You're just creating the environment and then noticing what comes. And as you notice what comes, the key is to not get too ahead of yourself by noticing the absence of what you want to come. Because when you get ahead of yourself in noticing the absence of what you want to come, what did you just do to your environment? Mm-hmm. And now you start noticing what comes, which is less of what you wanted than was coming before. We've been talking about this point of attraction, and we've been talking about getting on your high-flying disc. We'll talk about that more here today. But the thing that we really want to emphasize, and we know you're hearing it clearly, is everything that's coming to you is coming because of the atmosphere you've created. So the double-edged sword that you're talking about is you create the atmosphere, but then noticing what's coming or not coming then affects the atmosphere again. Isn't that interesting? So if you get really good at being a selective sifter, really good at appreciating what is coming that you want, really good at noticing how good you feel, really good at acknowledging. In other words, get out into this day and look at what is coming to you. Look at where you are. Look at this day. Look at this gathering. Look at this conversation. In other words, there is so much that is present in every waking moment that as you get oriented to looking for that, you'll feel no lack of what's missing, and then the momentum that you're asking for will increase until it might even increase to more than you're really up for, and then you notice that it really is create it and observe it, and create it and observe it, and create it and observe it. It's that simple. We've been talking way too much for way too long. It really is that simple.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So much fun.